Hi guys, so welcome to our podcast Pran Vayu, and we have Jasmeet Kaur with us. So Jasmeet, I recently saw your post on how you manifested certain desires of yours or probably your goals through astrocartography, right? It's am I pronouncing it right?
Yes, absolutely
So
right.
what is it? Please tell me because this is something new. मैंने यहाँ पे बहुत लोगों को देखा है astrology कर रहे हैं, ये सब कर रहे हैं. But how is astrology related to cartography?
So basically, astrocartography has come from astrology itself. Now, when we lay your kundli, your birth chart over the world map, we find out certain specific areas, energy vortex in the map, where when you travel there, when you go there, when you're around that place, that energy will activate in your kundli and bring certain results. You can figure out the place you're born, any energy center near that, any planetary line near that will tell you your life purpose.
Like how?
Or for example, I am born near a Pluto line. Pluto is the energy, we do not consider it in Indian system, but Pluto is the energy of transformation. It is the energy of ups and downs, of upheavals, of restorations. It's kind of the energy of Ma Kali, if I connect it to, because she is, whatever's not working, she removes that. Pluto is similar, upheavals, transformations, getting beyond your normal perception, seeing from a higher perspective. And my life has been mostly around that. So you can figure out where you can shine in your career, you can figure out where you'll find your love. Sometimes we also go on vacations, but we feel very drained, right? We're probably traveling to a hard line like Mars or Saturn or even Pluto for that matter. So planning your trips, planning your relocation if you want to move across countries, that would be very helpful coming from astrocartography.
Okay, so even if I talk about like let's say travelers, do you think that they can also plan
100%.
through the map, and how is it going to
100%.
help them? Because I see like हम लोग जो है हमारा एक spiritual purpose है और ये सब, but there are so many people जिनका कुछ ऐसा नहीं है, उनको बस घूमना है, they just want to travel. So
Yeah.
how is it going to help them?
Yeah. So coming to traveling, especially if you're into social media and you post travel blogs, travel reels and all of that, traveling to your Mercury line will get you a lot of views, will get you famous on social media. Traveling to your Sun line will also make you shine in your career. It will give you that exposure that you haven't been getting after working so hard.
Yeah.
Rather than traveling to Saturn line where you're going to face a lot of delays in everything, your flight might be delayed there, people might con you there. So even Neptune lines are very illusionary. People might think something, people might say something else. So traveling to Neptune, Saturn, Mars is not recommended. So when you, and it is very different for all of us. सबके लिए सबकी कुंडलियाँ बहुत यूनिक हैं, तो उनके वर्ल्ड मैप भी बहुत यूनिक होंगे. तो जब हम वो यूनिक मैप्स देखते हैं, उसको एनालाइज करते हैं, उससे पता चलता है कि अगर आप यहाँ जाओगे तो कैसी एनर्जी आएगी, अगर आप यहाँ जाओगे तो कैसी एनर्जी आएगी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, Saturn line is good for, let's say, 20% of the people only. If
And
it is
who are
placed
these
strongly.
20% people?
Depending on the birth chart, you have to we have to analyze the कुंडली properly. तो पहले आप कुंडली एनालाइज करोगे, आपको पता चलेगा कि अच्छा ये प्लैनेट अच्छा है, ये प्लैनेट स्ट्रांगली प्लेस्ड है, बेनिफिक है, अब वहां जाओगे. So again, as it is so unique, everybody's lines are not going to match the other. If sun line is good for me, it might not be the best for you. Depending on where the sun is placed, what will it bring you? So yeah.
So does that mean कि let's say कि एक sun की line है and that is good for me, does that mean that I can't go to other places?
Of course you can go to other places. For example, if sun is not good for you, let's say, ठीक है? What if Jupiter is amazing for you? What if Venus is amazing for you?
And what if I want to go to this sun line only?
Then we will not go directly under the sun line. So literally think of a line passing through the map. ठीक है? It goes, let's say, to the middle of Paris. Then if it is not amazingly placed, you will not go to Paris, but you will go to nearby cities.
Oh.
So the more closer you are to a line, the more intensely you can feel the effects. So it is mostly recommended not to move directly under the Pluto line, directly under the Mars line or Saturn line. Saturn gives long-term commitment, but it also brings a lot of hard work, tedious work, service to others before giving results. So if you have to learn major life lessons, you will go there. Of course.
I know.
See, this knowledge is so new that nobody in India is doing this as of now.
Exactly, yeah.
Where you have to go, you will be there no matter where you plan. Because I honestly believe in destiny. कि जो होता है वो होता है. आपको जहाँ होना है वहाँ होना है. आप उसको कितना भी plan कर लो astrology से, astrocartography से. You can't skip your karma. You can't skip your destiny. You can't outrun it. So even if let's say I was traveling to Dubai earlier this year, even if it was amazing for me, I felt delays. And that time I was not in astrocartography. Now when I came into it, I studied it, analyzed my own chart first. I got to know that Saturn is passing very close by to Dubai.
Okay.
Now that made a lot of sense. Now next time when I have to go to the same place or similar places, I will plan accordingly. I will try to be more understanding of my nature, of the nature of the geography. So it's basically आप जियोग्राफी को समझ रहे हो, उसकी एनर्जी से अलाइन हो रहे हो और उन चीज़ों को एक्टिवेट कर रहे हो अपने बर्थ चार्ट में.
Perfect. And how did you like learn all this? Because this is something very new. मैंने तो कभी नहीं सुना था. I got to hear this from you only when I was watching your stories and everything. So कहाँ से ये आया and how did you learn this and how passionate are you about it? Because
I am extremely passionate about it. So I'm a big time researcher. Anything, like I have this thing of feeding my curiosities. मेरे को जो दिमाग में आ गया ना एक बार, I'm like, I have to pursue this. And I've done everything through that method of researching, because why I feel this might not resonate to a lot of people. I feel if you learn from a teacher, you kind of absorb their perspective. I have something that I have to make my own perspective about something first before learning it from somebody else. Right? So I researched it for months and months, and I studied my own chart, I studied my friend's chart, and I asked them questions, and I asked for their honest feedback. कि आप यहाँ गए थे, आपको ऐसा लगा क्या? Right? So after that, after a lot of analyzing, and this is so interesting that it is so unique for everybody that, for example, this is great, by the way. If you're a group of friends or if you're going or planning on your honeymoon, right? Your energy might be amazing somewhere, but your partner's energy might be very dull.
Exactly,
So planning a trip together, let's say with your family, there are IC lines, the Imam Kolai, which is the 4th house. When you travel there with your family, you have a flow of everything. There are no fights, no arguments, no conflicts. And especially to the moon or the Jupiter side of it. So if you travel with your family and you have a lot of conflicts, maybe you're not traveling to the best line. So even for that, it's amazing. Also, if you are into real estate, into property, investing in certain places will give you tenfold results than investing in other places. So it's very logical as well, because when you buy property at a certain place, it's going to bring so much more results than you expected, because it's lucky for you. So that also goes in a lot of careers, in planning a lot of trips with your friends, your family, your partners, to align the energy and get the most out of the trip. Not get drained, not get exhausted by the end of it, you know.
Absolutely. Also about, so let's say Vastu. ठीक है. So अब हम जैसे घर लेते हैं, so अब घर जब लेते हैं, so we have a lot of things about वास्तु, ये ऐसा होना चाहिए. So is it also related, is astrocartography is also related to vastu, or you know, buying a house or something?
Could be, yes. So we also analyze local space. Okay, the point where you're living right now, be it your birthplace, be it your current rented home, anywhere, right? We take that specific, very accurate location, and then we see lines passing, becoming that at the center point, and lines are passing all the way. Now, if let's say your sun line is at the east corner of your home, when you work there, where you create content there, अगर आप वहाँ काम करो या कुछ भी administrative work करो, कुछ भी government का काम करो, काम बहुत जल्दी होगा. Whereas if the Saturn line is passing, let's say at the west of your home, this is also very unique for everyone. अगर Saturn line west से जा रही है, अगर वहाँ आपका work space है, वहाँ आप काम कर रहे हो, आपको हर बार अड़चने आएंगी, delay होगा, कुछ ना कुछ problem होगी. So also using it in your own home.
Check mine after the podcast.
Definitely. I'd love to.
Done.
I'd love to. Yeah.
I'm very excited about this. This is so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And so, how can you actually manifest through astrocartography?
So I feel it depends from person to person
Yeah.
in what kind of career you are in. Let's say we are talking about spirituality here. Spirituality is denoted through moon if you're into the Devi sector, the divine feminine. It is represented through the sun if you're into the masculine sector. It depends on what kind of where you are. Okay. So now if you want to manifest, let's say, success in the fashion field, you will move or do work in your Venus line. You can attend networking events under your Venus line.
Okay.
You can go for a spa day under your Venus line. If you're, let's say, into communication, you're into sales, you have to manage people, you will have to work under Mercury line.
Okay.
Mercury is all about communication. It is all about researching. It is all about saying what you have to deliver, right? It is all about the mind, the logic. So whenever you're under your Mercury line, if your let's say your northeast is Mercury, right? You will go under your Mercury line to work, to have meetings, and you can see you will have a fluent communication. People will understand and comprehend you better, and also you will see your conversations flowing and things just starting to work out for you. So it depends on what kind of career you are. Let's say if you're into sports, you're an athlete, just like Olympics are going on right now, right? Having a workout space in the Mars line, because Mars is aggression, Mars is physical vitality, it is fire, it is your physical body, it is your brain. So it is motivation and discipline. It's so much of the physical movement. It's so much of having a very focused, pinpointed, goal.
Yeah.
So if you have a gym, or let's say a swimming pool, or whatever workout you're doing throughout the day, if you're doing it under your Mars line, you're going to see results much quicker. You're going to be more focused. You're not going to get tired easily, and you're going to stick to it for longer. So the energy and utilizing the energy is astrocartography altogether.
And where is your Noida line? Like on what point? Is it related to fashion or spirituality or what?
It is somewhere, I think, in the middle of my moon and my Mercury line.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. So Noida is actually my mother's Mica.
Oh,
in 37 sector.
Okay.
So my mother's Mica is in. I just came here and I was checking my astrocartography map, and my mom's Mica is here. And mostly whenever I visit to Noida, it's either for that purpose or I'm into some kind of work event.
Oh my
Always.
God. So is it going to give you some success or something like what kind of success?
Yes, definitely. If this reaches to the right audience, it's definitely going to give us huge success. Definitely.
Lovely. And also, so I see you manifesting a lot.
Yeah.
Acha, manifestation se pehle, I want to ask another question. So is there any website related to this
astrocartography?
Topic? Yeah.
So I do it online on AstroDienist, AstroDienst.com और astro.com. ये दो वेबसाइट्स हैं. इसमें आप जाओ, अपनी बर्थ डिटेल्स फिल करो. उसमें दो ऑप्शंस आएंगे. One is locational astrology and the other one will be local space. Local space will give you your exact location and you will be the center point of it, and there will be lines going away from it.
Okay.
And the locational astrology, you will see the entire map of the world.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can figure it out.
So is there any place from where we can learn or
Google and YouTube are great
so
ways
we-
to
oh,
start.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You can get some basics, but then you have to research. So I read a lot of papers around this. There are a lot of research papers around astrocartography. Astrologers posting their research work online, and they analyzing them firsthand with their clients. Of okay, if their clients travel to this particular area, तो उनके साथ ये हुआ.
Okay.
तो वो एनालाइज करके इवन जैसे एस्ट्रोलॉजी हमारे पास कैसे आई है, उन्होंने एनालाइज किया, जो चीज सही लगी उसको रखा, जो चीज नहीं सही लगी उसको हटाया,
Right,
राइट.
right.
सो एस्ट्रोकार्टोग्राफी आल्सो वर्क्स इन द सेम वे.
So about this topic, astrocartography. So what do you think is the future, like potential future in this professional field? क्या future होने वाला है if you get into this?
So I think it has huge potential क्योंकि everybody wants a smooth life.
Yeah.
सबको चाहिए कि हमारी लाइफ स्मूथ रहे, कोई दिक्कत ना हो, and we do not get into unexpected, unwanted situations or with people, right?
Yeah.
तो इससे अगर आप फिगर आउट कर सकते हो कि कहाँ आपके अच्छे एरियाज है, कहाँ आपके बुरे एरियाज है, of course you have some power over your own map.
Yeah.
That you can avoid traveling to certain places.
Yeah.
And when somebody comes to me, let's say they want to shift abroad, and they have these few countries in, let's say they have Germany, they have Dubai, and they have UK in their mind, right? Now when they tell me, okay, these are the countries I'm planning to move, which will be beneficial for me. Now I can see the areas around it, what lines are passing, what are auspicious for them, what are inauspicious for them, and what field they are in.
Okay.
So if they are, let's say, into AI, into technology, I would recommend moving to the Uranus line. Uranus is all about higher knowledge, higher wisdom, the artificial intelligence, development, software. It's all about that. It's also about aviation. So if somebody is into UFOs, into conspiracy theories and all of this, moving to your Uranus line would be very beneficial. Now if something is into, let's say, the banking sector, I would tell them to move to the Sun line or the Mercury line. If
Why?
Because Sun is all about administration. It is the
Okay.
authority. It is managing stuff. Mercury, on the other hand, is everything about finance, about communication, about logic, about analyzing stuff. So Mercurian people, they have very detailed clarity in their mind about small things. They focus on the minute things. And if somebody is in the fashion industry, let's say, if somebody is an actor, a model, or a content creator, I would suggest them to move on their MC Venus line. MC? So there are 4 angles in astrocartography. It's the first house, the 4th house, the 7th house, and the 10th house. The first house is the ascendant. It is all about you.
Okay.
It is the inner reality.
Okay.
And the 4th house is all about your family,
Okay.
your home. If you want to have, let's say, a very pleasing home, okay, I would tell you to move to your Venus line or to your moon line, to nurture, to give, to have and develop that femininity, right?
Yeah.
Now then there's also the 7th house, which is the DC, the descendant. It is all about partnerships, business relationships. So traveling, let's say you're having a honeymoon, and if you want to see which are the good places, combining and overlaying both of the person's chart, we can see what are the best places
That they can
yes
travel together.
Yes, and especially the DC sector, the DC angle.
Okay.
If they want to, let's say, have a business partnership abroad or even in India, then they can also see where the DC line is going through, because that's also business partnership, so that you don't get conned, which is
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's also MC, which is the 10th house, the career. Wherever you want to establish yourself is where you will move. So IC and MC are your outer realities, what happens in the outer world. Your home happen in the outer world, your career happens in the outer world, whereas
Yes.
AC and DC are your inner realities.
Okay.
There you can figure out what you want exactly, what kind of relationships you want, what kind of personal development you want to have in life.
So can we say that we have more control over AC and DC rather than the other two?
Definitely. But then again, I would suggest, if you are traveling alone, you have control over all 4.
Yeah.
But if you're traveling somewhere or you're already settled, you can't move much, then okay, some kind of uncertainty of course is there, but then local space comes in place.
Okay.
So even if you do not want to move, बहुत लोग आते हैं मेरे पास कि हमें शिफ्ट नहीं होना
नहीं
कहीं
होना,
भी, बट
yeah.
हमें जो हम जहाँ हैं मुझे वो एनालाइज करना है, which is obviously very practical in today's world. Not everybody can just pick up their stuff and move somewhere else. So the best thing I recommend them, like if you want to work on something very specific, let's say you want to write a book. I will tell you to go to a cafe or go to a library or some quiet place under your Mercury line.
Oh, that is nice.
Yes. If they want to find, let's say, investors or publishers for the same, I would tell them to go somewhere to a networking event under the Jupiter line. They will get a lot of support from there, and they will also get a lot of exposure under their Jupiter line. Things will just start flowing for them.
So also one more question related to this. तो जैसे हम लोग energy updates create करते हैं, right? We have this collective message. तो exactly in the same manner, do we have these collective lines also?
No.
Okay.
Since the birth chart is individual for everyone, हमारा something that we can still figure out is you take the birth chart of now, the present moment. And then you give a chart, and then you predict, okay, this thing is going to happen in this region. Then we go into geography of that place. Let's say if you're analyzing India, if let's say as the Bangladesh riots are happening now, if we take the birth chart of right now of where the planets are in the universe right now, and if there's a Mars line or a Pluto line or a combination of two is passing through Bangladesh, we can see, okay, this is what's coming up. This is what's happening. If you want to predict the future, we take a timeline of the future and we create a kundli through a software map, and then we just see, okay, this is happening in this region. Let's avoid this region.
So basically हम लोग ये बड़े-बड़े events के लिए भी कर सकते हैं, which is, you know, let's say any war or any big meeting where we are representing India or about India itself. So we can do that.
Yes.
Okay.
For example, holding a business meet. If you're a company, holding a business meet under the sun line of either the CEO, either the founder, or in the future timeline.
Let's say Modi ji ki line अगर हमने ले ली, right? So we can predict a lot of things where he can take the right decisions and stuff.
I also just posted about Priyanka Chopra.
Okay.
Of how the places she went, she's traveled all over, right? So the places she went activated different things for her. For example, near her, where in her childhood she was bullied in Boston, in New York, there is her Chiron line passing through it. Chiron is the wounded healer. It means something will trigger you, and in this lifetime, it is your job to heal that. That is where she went for schooling during her teenage years. London, where she won Miss World in 2000, that is where her Venus line is passing. Exactly through either the Venus or the Sun, I can't remember exactly. Her Venus line is passing through that. Coming to LA, where she settled right now, I think her Jupiter line is going right through LA. That is why she's getting such global exposure. She's the ambassador of such big brands. Even Bombay, where she used to stay, that is in the middle of Pluto and I think Mars or Venus. It was good here for her, but it did create a lot of controversies. So you can also see a trajectory of somebody's life through astrocartography.
And how can we, like, you know, let's say manipulate this whole destiny thing? Because let's say कि one part is destiny and one is our free will as well.
Right.
So free will हम कितना ज़्यादा control कर सकते हैं and destiny कितना ज़्यादा control कर सकती है in this particular scenario?
See, I think our destiny is created through our free will in terms of the choices we are making now. We're going to reap the benefit or the the wrong side of it through our choices. I 100% believe in free will, that we are very conscious. We are the only conscious species here on earth.
Yes, absolutely.
We have the power in our hands to choose something for us. And whenever people say कि मेरे पास choice नहीं है या मेरे पास options नहीं है, we always have a choice. When we are saying no, we have a choice. When we are saying yes, we have a choice. Even when we are saying of nothing, we are silent, we still have a choice. So I feel जो अभी हमारी destiny है, that is created by our free will in our past life. We are just reaping whatever's coming up.
Got it.
So I definitely believe in free will, that we have absolute control over our destiny. We do not have the control over the destiny we have created in the past life.
Of course.
But in the end, we have created it in the first place. This leads me to Saturn,
yeah.
where everybody is scared of Saturn. Everybody is
I too love
scared.
Saturn.
Yeah, it's the most unbiased planet.
Exactly.
It gives you exactly what you need.
Yeah.
It doesn't think, oh ये अंबानी इसको कम देते हैं, या oh ये normal बंदा है इसको ज़्यादा देते हैं. It gives you exactly what you deserve, exactly what you have created. वो भी अपने मन से नहीं देता है, उसको वही देता है जो उसने खुद create करा है.
किया है, exactly.
So साढ़े
the whole
साथी,
karma philosophy
yeah,
basically, ना?
Yeah.
हाँ, you were saying something about
So
साढ़े साथी.
साढ़े साथी में बहुत लोग डरते हैं कि हाय मेरी साढ़े साथी
हाँ,
आने वाली,
हाँ.
क्या करूँगा मैं?
Yeah.
साढ़े साथी में जितना होता है ना आपका आगे का पीछे का, वो सब रिडीम होता है. आपने अच्छा किया है पहले तो आपको
अच्छा
many
मिलेगा.
people grow immensely during the साढ़े साथी.
Wow.
Immensely. Now many people also fall immensely. So it's a curse and a blessing depending on what you have sowed in the first place. कोई ये सैटर्न आपको कोई पनिश नहीं कर रहा है, वो आपको 7 साल के पीरियड में सिर्फ आपका जो कर्म है वो ज्यादा दे रहा है. वो कह रहा है कि इन 7 साल में मैं कोटा ज्यादा पूरा करूंगा तुम्हारा. तुमने अच्छा किया तो तुम्हें बहुत सक्सेस मिलेगी, बहुत अच्छी चीजें मिलेंगी. तुमने नहीं करा तो तुम्हें नहीं मिल सकता ना, किसी और का तो मैं तुम्हें उठा के नहीं दे सकता.
Yeah.